Hi everyone, welcome to Pasigo Design Watercolor Studio. In this video, I will show you how I approach a watercolor painting using the negative painting technique. If you're interested in knowing more, stay tuned. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button to see more videos as I release them. Thank you for watching. Okay, it's nice and dry. Yeah. Feels good, ready to go for round 2 on this one. Now that we have our blob, and it really is a blob because there is no shape in here really that I can use yet to build anything. But what I'm going to do is I'll use my pencil and I will create a couple of shapes, and very simple shapes, just flowers, flower shapes that are easy to draw. And I just want to make sure that there's some good separation between the petals so that I can get in there with my paint and do some of that negative painting. So here, and then if I want to put some petals in here afterwards, I might do that as well. I can, but right now I have 4 petals. That's okay. We could do 4, we could do 5. If you think you want to get another one in here, that might also work. Feels like there's going to be a need for one here perhaps, but before we even do that, let's just draw a part of that stem and then move up to the other side and draw another leaf shape, maybe over here somewhere. Okay, another. Okay. And then just making sure that these are going to connect to the center. Perhaps I have another little one over here. Okay. And if I don't like that line, if I'd rather do it this way, I can still do that. That could become a leaf. So we can even do this, okay? If it looks wrong. These pencil lines will disappear because I'm going to be painting things around. And so if I have a leaf shape here, I will put another one there, and then we'll do the leaf shapes afterwards. But we have 2 leaf shapes that we can use to start. And we have some flowers, and we're ready to go. So same colors, red, quin red, and then the Hansa yellow light, which gives us an orange, a nice orange. I'm going to mix some of that orange right now. And I'm going to use, I don't really want to use the pure yellow anymore. My pure yellow is already put there. So the only 2 colors I'm going to be using now is the red and the orange. I'm still going to use this brush to blend stuff towards the edges, and I will still start at the top. And I'll just put a little bit of water here to get started. Just a little bit of water around those petals. And I'll start making the shape of the petal. There we go. Add the water first. It helps to simplify the blending. So just if you know you're going around a certain shape and there's a lot of empty space there, just get it going before you get there. I'm just using the orange right now, but you can be using some of the reds as well at the same time. And that gives us some really nice bright colors here. Now you can see that I'm still keeping the shape in mind, and I'm painting a nice line, nice contour line around those shapes. Now we can also smush things in a little bit. That's okay too. That looks quite nice actually when it's done because it's all connected. So if you get some color in there, just blend it in. And I'm going towards the top here, and I don't really want to put too much color up there, just a little bit. Okay. Now that white can stay. I have no problems with that. And here we're losing some of that. And we're almost around the shape again. Now you can see that I'm actually not necessarily staying right on the actual line. I can move my line a little bit. That's okay too. I'm going down here to this one. I want to make sure that I keep this one connected to the top here. We don't want it to look like it's part of a different painting. Okay. So far, so good. Maybe it's getting a little dry here, but that's all right. Fix that later. If we don't want it, maybe it won't matter. Okay. And now we're getting close to the bottom, and because I put a line for stem here, I can follow this line and just go right around and blend it off. Okay. And I'm almost at this shape, this leaf shape. So this makes it real easy because I have the stem, the leaf shape, around the leaf shape, around the petal, and around the stem again. Okay, and here I don't want my leaf shape to be touching toe to toe with my flower shape. I want to leave a little space here, right here, to make sure that I can break that up. It's typically not good to have two things meeting toe to toe. I have to come up here and join up to this, and that's wet. So I'm not going to put too much there. And I'm just going to paint around this shape, and that'll be all, because I can come back to it later. Okay. And that's it for that side. On this side, same idea. If you have a calligraphy brush, use it by pressing down on your paper. It really helps to cover an area more quickly. Okay. Back to here. Keeping it fairly light. This is wet, so let's just smooth that out. Now I only really have to do this side over here, and then that'll be all. And I can come back to it later after it's dry. So this will be the end of it. And we're going to leave it. Well, I have 3 shapes that I brought out of the picture. And now I need to let it dry again. And it really needs to be dry. Like, the longer you let it dry, the better. So even if you can wait an hour in between, at least an hour, you can use your hair blower, but check to make sure that it's dry even with the hair blower. Sometimes the hair blower feels like it's dry, but it's still kind of damp in the back, and then it doesn't really pick up the colors too well for some reason. But check that you have it dry and then attack it again. All right, we'll come back after. And now we're coming back to the continuation of this painting. We have a couple of layers on already. It's dry, it's ready for another coat. But what we want to do now is focus on the space in between all these shapes. We don't really need to add a lot more on top of the actual shapes, but we do need to build up the background a lot more with negative shapes. And the negative shapes could take the form of flowers or leaves. It's whatever you want to do in there, or more stems. So I'm going to put, I already have 3 flowers. I might want to put a little flower somewhere else, maybe one up here, or maybe some more leaves here. Let's start with some leaves. There we go. And then the other thing is to keep in mind that a lot of these shapes now are going to start to be in the background. So if they're in the background, then it means that they go underneath things. Like, for example, these guys here, I'm making some leaf shapes, but they are actually not part of the shapes in the foreground. So how do we do that? There's going to be, I'm doing this right now to give myself a lot of opportunity to have little, how can I say, little corners to go into. And that's really a lot of fun. So here also I'm thinking maybe I want to just put a couple of petals in the background. And we don't need to do that, but it's just something to try, right? We're experimenting with this one. We want to do different things, and we just want to learn how to paint the background details in another way. So I have also the opportunity to do maybe some more stems coming out of here, maybe with little shapes in here. And they don't have to continue any further than that if we don't want to. But if you're doing another shape, for example, of a stem here, try to bring it all the way down. That'll make things really fun for the negative painting part. I've got a stem here that's sticking out here. Maybe I just want to end it around here. Okay. So that gives me a lot of opportunity to paint around. Maybe one more. Okay, and we're ready to go. Now I have on my brush a lot of pigment. It's an orange, but what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of blue to it, a little bit more blue. Now you'll see that the color has just changed to a really deep orange. Let's take a look at that. Okay, it's still fairly watery, but it's not going to be as bright as these colors. Let's try it on our painting and see what it looks like. And I'm going to take a look here. Okay, and I'm still going to blend up here. Don't be afraid to do some, how do I say it? Like it looks like little branches, I guess, coming out of there. That's fine. And also at one point, we can even allow some of those colors to go into the shape, but softened, not too harsh. They're going to be shadows, things that exist in nature. But I still need to paint around these shapes in order to define them. If I don't do that, then I won't see them. They won't look like shapes. They'll just look like pencil lines going nowhere. But I don't have to do everything. And I can make it loose. I can make it so that it's not perfect. We're making some really nice, perfectly round shapes here, curves. They don't have to be that. They could be very squiggly lines. We're doing this right now because it's way easier, and we're trying to uncomplicate the process of negative painting. Okay, and trying to define, give good definition to the shapes that we've drawn already. Okay. Now, when I paint something like this, I'm keeping in mind what's on the left and what's on the right. On the left is a stem. On the right is a part of that leaf shape, which is underneath this petal. So I'm going to do this, but in keeping that in mind, I'm also going to put a little bit of a shadow under here, because things that are underneath are not going to be the same color as what's on top. So I'm going to do this right through the whole painting. Let's do a little shape over here. A little white shape. I don't know if I'll keep that. I might not. Because, yeah, that's going to attract way too much attention. Okay. And that's it for there. And at this point, after continuing more of the same, the final product is shown. Thank you for watching.